Hello, plantitas. Good day wherever you are in the world. So, I got this question from Lynn, and I thought now is a good time because I do have a few cuttings that I got last. Was it just last week that I pulled some plants from Sam's Hoyas, and people have been asking me about the self-watering planters, my soil mix. So, I couldn't believe the amount of interest when it comes to how I grow my Hoyas. I mean, I'm far from being a Hoya expert, but I just want to show you what works for me, and I think that's really important. So for today's video, first let me show you again the self-watering planters that I like. So these transparent ones have transparent inner pots that I get from Lisa. I will try to look for my other posts where she has this on her Palm Street link, and I also have ones that do not have the clear inner pots. So this one is like the smallest. I think this is the 3-inch one. So what I like is they have like a water indicator. Let's try to look at this older plant. So this is a Hoya yinjiangensis variegated from Ate Peachy. So shout out Ate Peachy if you see this video. I love you. Anyways, so the clear inner pot and whatever substrate, meaning whatever mixture you are comfortable with. And I'm also going to talk to you guys about lechuza pond. So you fill in the water. This wicking system will slowly wick moisture depending on how thirsty your plant is or depending on how your substrate functions. So what I do is I just they come with these pre-cut wicks. I also sometimes would opt in to cut my own wicking system, and you just put these on the corresponding containers, and the plastic part needs to go. And we're also going to try to make my soil mix. So a lot of you have been curious about lechuza pond. So a little summary about that. It's I believe it's a German company wherein they pre-mix. Well, this is a lechuza pond black. So there's like the regular mixture. I don't know how I could showcase this. Maybe I could show you a little bit of a close-up. So I believe there's zeolite. Well, let's just say there's a combination of a few pebbles or whatnot inside, and it's supposed to be inorganic. However, recently I have been playing up with some other mixtures, and that includes cocoa coir, which let me put some here. So cocoa coir, you know the little disc looking things where you mix water and they expand. I think that's cocoa coir, right? And there's also cocoa chips, which are a little bit more coarse. So I put cocoa coir in some whatever leftover lechuza pond that I have, and then I still mix tree fern. So this one I just got from the plant sitter when I visited her shop. So I would just pre-mix a little bit of that tree fern, and I don't go by strict measures. And honestly, whatever is available is what I'll use. And I also got this finer perlite because I feel like if you just use lechuza pon, it tend to become more heavy through the years. And I've found that some of my Hoyas rot in pon. So what I like to do is I will just combine that cocoa coir. I'm really sorry for this very dirty wand thingy situation. So we're just gonna mix that. Okay. And then Lynn was asking me, like, she already has Hoyas rooting in other mediums. How easy would it be to transfer it to Lechuza Pon? So right now, I mostly use Pon, well, also because they're quite hard to acquire and they could be expensive, mostly as a soil topping now to prevent fungus gnats from getting into my soil mix. And I find that Hoyas would root faster or would thrive better in a more coarse substrate, such as this one. I mean, this one is more evidently filled with perlite. And here's what it looks like so far. Honestly, like no rules for me. I just like feel whatever I feel like is right and what works. And I'm already sweating like a pig, but I'm still continuing on mixing our mix. So going back to that question of like how easy is it to transpose or transfer your mix. So this one is the Hoya Amicabilis Silver, which was a steal from Sam. So shout out to Sam if you are watching this video. I need to save up and buy some more Hoyas from you. Um, what I do is, since this one is already rooted and I believe he uses tree fern, and look, there's just that beautiful root. Am I inhaling the tree fern? Excuse me. So I try my best not to disturb the root system that's already established. So I just like wiggle this a little bit. And if I feel like, excuse me, oh my gosh, like this is, let's say you measure this and it's just about the size of this, so I won't even bother putting a lower layer, but I will top up the layer on this side later on. So as what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to slightly shake this off from this container, and we have the bulk of our actual plant. I'm gonna transfer that here, making sure that the wick comes in contact with whatever substrate already exists. And I do want this to be in the middle. So I'll just hold this in place. And what I like to do is put my mix on this side without actually trying to break up the mix that this Hoya is already growing. Just so, I don't know, like I don't want to disturb, because these are starter cuttings and I don't want to, I want to repot and transpose or transplant these plants with little to no disturbance at all. So with tree fern, the thing is, like, it is very airy and you might find yourself wanting to push it in, like what I'm doing right now, just to keep it in place, because later on I do like to water using my spraying thing and it tends to displace that. And we are going to prevent and resolve that by topping it up with my lechuza pon. So without pon, it's fine, it's cute. However, I do like to use pon to lock everything in place. That way the perlite doesn't transpose to another pot, because that happens to me occasionally. And especially this perlite that got into this section. Actually, might as well just remove this. Oh my gosh. And I like to compact it a little bit more. If it was just me, I hate to see the base substrate, but that should work for now. And then just make sure that the water reservoir is visible, and that's how I would transpose that. And like what I said, it should look like this. I think I did not use just all black pond here, so you can still see the lighter color pond. And I'm just gonna do the same thing with my other cuttings. So this one is the inner variegated curtisii. So same process. We're gonna shake it a little bit, making sure that the wick system is locked in place in the middle. Okay, trying to cause as little disturbance as possible, trying to position this in the middle as possible, and we're gonna backfill. Is that the right term? We're gonna backfill, or we're just gonna fill the gaps that we have on this sides, just to keep our plant in the center. And actually, I could already see some of the roots peeking on the sides. So I do want to cover and secure those. The thing with this tree fern, it's my first time using this brand from the Plant Sitter. It is very fibery. It's not as fine as the one that I'm used to, but actually I kind of like that. That way it doesn't just dissipate real fast. And then we are gonna squish that a little bit. No, we're gonna make it compact and top it up with lechuza on again. Okay, so I think we're done with that. That's as compact as I could get it to be. I'm just gonna make sure that the lip of my pot, or the substrate, substrate that is at the edge of my pot, is well covered with this black lechuza pon. I like the black lechuza. I kind of regret just buying one bag from Didi's Plants, because I feel like it makes the plant pop, especially if it's a lighter colored one. And then as soon as you water the oh as soon as you water the black lechuza, it really turns black and dark, so it gives it a better contrast. So we'll see, because I still have my regular lechuza bag anyways, so if I ever use it all up, I'm just gonna settle with that. So we have two, and we're gonna work on our third one. So similar process, and I hope it's quite easy. If you guys have questions, so I recognize that a lot of you are all over the world and our resources might be a little bit different, our pricing might be a little bit different. So for those that are also just based in the US and in Northern America, I'm just going to put the links underneath this video. If it's going to be posted on Facebook, I'll try to put that on the comments. If I think I'll end up putting this on my YouTube, then I will try to put that in the description or maybe in the comments as well. I'll try to pin, especially like Amazon links because it'll be convenient to find these same products as well, just to help you guys out. And with Amazon links, I might as well share my affiliate links as well. So you are also helping me out as I provide you information and resources in return, right? What a symbiotic, synergistic relationship. I'm just kidding. Okay, so now this one I'm struggling with because there's this big fibrous thing, fern bark fiber, that's on the way. So I just had to pull it off the thing. And same principle, as little disturbance as possible. And we are sweating, and I don't like that look and feeling. We're gonna brace through this process because I thought it was going to be a quick 5-minute video, but I didn't realize we are repotting about 3 plants. So it's turning into a 15-minute video. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope it'll show you enough examples and hopefully answer Lynn's wonderful question. So far in my experience, doing it this way has not really caused a lot of disruption on the plants. And if you want to do it all pond all throughout or you stick to your original substrate, I honestly think it would still work. And I haven't had any, you know, big fails in the past. And, like being the obsessive compulsive me, I would still, you know, really adjust to make sure that all the pond covers the substrate because that's the look I'm going for, right? But, just for demonstration purposes, here's what we have so far. And again, this is our good example. So again, Hoya Yin Yang Gensis from Atipichi. You fill up the reservoir. This one doesn't have a lot anymore. So you might find that a lot of the residue would pool underneath in your reservoir. That's fine. You could just clean it up if you want an all clear container. Me, I tend to like put it back on because I know it's some organic or finer material, which I don't mind. And again, like with the clear inner pots, you could see the root system forming without it being completely exposed to the naked eye. But I also love the non-clear ones, which I could conveniently just order through Amazon as well. So you could get the clear ones from Lisa, which you are supporting a small business through her Palm Street shop, or you could also get the Amazon links if you want it for your convenience, or if you don't have access to Lisa, that also works fine. So I think that's it. After sweating buckets, I hope that is helpful for you plantitas, and thank you for engaging on my videos. That's it. Ingat and take care.